I installed a new security AI 2 hours ago. I was just experimenting. I honestly never thought it would work this well, but it's already found an active, sophisticated attack on my home network. And the alert says the attack is coming from my neighbor's house. This was someone I said hi to every single day. And the digital trail this AI uncovered was more shocking than I ever could have imagined. What started as a little tech project just turned into a real-life cyber investigation, and you're about to see exactly how it all went down. 1. The experiment. Building a digital guardian ***. I figured I'd let it run for a week and make a cool video about it. It started mapping my network, identifying my phone, my laptop, my smart speaker, even my coffee maker, and just watching. My digital guardian had just spotted a classic hacking technique being used against my home. First, a log of the attack packets. The AI confirmed it was a sustained DOS broadcast, hitting my entire network, not just one device. While it's possible for a skilled hacker to spoof or fake their MAC address, a lot of attackers, especially the opportunistic ones, don't bother. The AI had grabbed this fingerprint. You can have the best passwords and a great router, but a determined person nearby can still cause a world of trouble. It's a little terrifying. If you're finding this story as wild as I did, and you want to learn how to protect your own digital life, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're about to get to the craziest part of this investigation, and you are not going to want to miss how it ends. They could be in a car on the street, or they could be in the house right next door. And right there, in plain text in the packet data, was the name Dave's Galaxy S22? The friendly, quiet guy in the house to my left. The guy I borrowed tools from. The guy whose dog I always stopped to pet. The attacker was close, and they were getting cocky. The DOS attacks kept coming in sharp bursts. But then, they made a mistake. But how many Daves with a Galaxy S22 could be physically close enough to my house to generate that signal strength? The odds were plummeting. This suggested it wasn't some automated script left running. The system's threat intelligence module took the attacker's MAC address and ran it against public database. The first 6 characters of a MAC address are an organizationally unique identifier, which tells you who made the hardware. The lookup came back. Samsung Electronics. This pattern was flagged by the AI's behavioral analysis as being indicative of a manual, human-driven attack. There was a person behind this, actively probing my network, and they were nearby, but I took a breath and realized that would be a terrible idea. The first thing I did was take the MAC address for Dave's Galaxy S22 and add it to my router's block list. This is called MAC address filtering. It's like giving the bouncer a picture of someone and saying, "This person is not allowed in." A direct confrontation could get ugly fast. He could deny it, get defensive. My internet was acting up, so I installed this new security system for my network. It's got this AI that analyzes all the signals. A flicker of pure panic. His smile went stiff. He just nodded and said, "Oh, wow, that's neat," and practically power walked away. It's pretty wild. It can pick up on interference and logs the device names of anything trying to mess with the network. The attack stopped completely. While he didn't need the password for the DOS attack, this would stop him from ever actually getting in. I also double-checked that my network was using WPA3 encryption, which offers much better protection against these types of attacks. It was the guy next door, probably bored and curious, with a few easily accessible hacking tools. Changing it is the first door you should lock. It just proves that threats can come from anywhere, and sometimes the closest ones are the most dangerous. The next morning, I saw Dave walking his dog. I gave him the usual friendly wave. He waved back, looking completely normal. My AI system worked perfectly, but you don't need to get that fancy to make a huge difference. And then I'd have a permanent, hostile relationship with someone living 20 feet away. I needed to be smarter. If you see something you don't recognize, kick it off immediately and change your password. The goal wasn't a fight. It was to secure the network. My neighbor, Dave, was actively trying to hack my Wi-Fi. I just sat there, staring at the screen. It taught me that in a world where everything is connected, our digital walls need to be just as strong as our physical ones. But why? To steal my internet? To spy on me? Was this just some weird, misguided hobby? My mind was racing. And disabled a feature called WPS, or Wi-Fi Protected Setup. It's a convenience feature that's notoriously insecure. I also disabled remote administration, making sure no one could mess with my router settings from outside my network. The AI had done its job. It found the threat. Now it was on me to figure out what to do next. By forcing your devices to disconnect, the hacker can then fire up a fake Wi-Fi network that looks just like yours called an evil twin. Your phone, now desperate to reconnect, sees this fake network, thinks it's legit, and connects. Boom! The hacker is now sitting in the middle of your connection, intercepting everything. Passwords, bank details, you name it. And in one of those broadcast packets, the AI captured something that wasn't there before, a device name. The next data point it showed me was signal strength, or RSSI. The signal from the malicious packets was incredibly strong. So, when someone tries to walk in at 3 a.m. using a familiar ID card, the guard knows something is off. That's exactly what the AI does. A DoS attack is a type of denial-of-service attack where a hacker floods your network with faked authentication frames. These are basically forged messages that pretend to come from your router, telling your devices, your phone, your laptop, everything to disconnect immediately. The part of the Wi-Fi protocol that handles this is old, and it has a huge flaw. These commands don't have to be encrypted or authenticated. An attacker doesn't even need your password to kick all of your devices offline. They just have to be in range. This was definitely coming from an unauthorized, external device. It's built to spot the unusual, the unexpected stuff that a simple password and firewall would totally miss. It was a critical alert from the security app, and the message was blunt. Critical threat detected, authentication attack in progress. Well, everything, my work, my entertainment, all my smart home gadgets, they all need a fast, stable, and most importantly, secure connection. And like a lot of you, I have the usual stuff in place. A strong WPA3 password, a firewall, a separate network for guests, all the standard recommendations. We hear about new threats all the time. Hackers are getting smarter, even using AI to create attacks that can just waltz past the old-school defenses. I wanted to see if I could use AI not just to make my Wi-Fi faster, but to build a digital fortress around my home. This wasn't about installing a simple antivirus program. This was about setting up a real AI-driven network security system. Instead of just checking for a list of known viruses, this AI is designed to learn my network. It spends its first few hours creating a baseline, a pattern of life for every single thing connected to my Wi-Fi. It learns that my work laptop talks to servers in one country, my TV streams movies at night, and my phone is always pinging for updates. Then, its machine learning algorithms watch all the traffic in real time, looking for anything weird, anything that breaks that normal pattern. Think of it like a security guard who's worked the same building for 20 years. I was genuinely excited to set it up. It was this dedicated piece of hardware that sits between my modem and my router, basically acting as the network's brain. 2. The first warning. A authentication attack ***. It was about 2 hours after I plugged it in. I was in my office editing when my phone buzzed. Okay, my first reaction was a mix of whoa, cool, and it's probably a false alarm. So, what in the world is a authentication attack? It's one of the most common and annoying Wi-Fi hacks out there. The AI's alert was clear. This wasn't a random glitch. It was an intentional, malicious attack. 3. The investigation. Following the digital breadcrumbs. My heart was beating a little faster now. This wasn't just a tech demo anymore. Every single gadget that connects to a network has a unique hardware ID called a Media Access Control Address, or MAC address. The dashboard showed me the attacker's MAC address and, crucially, a list of all my device MAC addresses. I did a quick check. But a MAC address is just a who, not a where. With wireless signals, strength equals distance. A weak signal could be someone down the street with a big antenna. Then the AI did something even smarter. It started correlating the attack with other data. It noticed the attacks were happening in short bursts, not constantly. I felt a genuine chill go down my spine. I found myself looking out the window at my quiet, familiar street. 4. The shocking discovery. The aha moment. I was in full-on detective mode, glued to the AI's dashboard as it fed me live updates. In between the attacks, as my devices were trying to reconnect, the hacker's device was also sending out its own signals, getting ready to broadcast that evil twin network. See, most modern phones and laptops have a friendly name to identify themselves on a network like Gen S MacBook or living room TV. The AI's interface lit up with a new piece of intel. It had isolated a network probe that wasn't trying to hide. A wave of disbelief washed over me. No way! It had to be a coincidence. Dave is a common name. The AI wasn't finished. It delivered the final, crushing piece of evidence. So let's just recap the evidence the AI put together in less than 3 hours. A signal strength so high the attacker had to be literally next door. And the smoking gun. A broadcasted device, name of Dave's Galaxy S22. 5. The solution and the confrontation, asterisk. Asterisk, my first instinct. Storm over there, shove my phone in his face, and demand to know what the hell he was thinking. I went back to the AI dashboard. It wasn't just for detection. It was a command center. Next, I immediately changed my Wi-Fi password to something long, complex, and completely random. Finally, I decided to send a message. A subtle, but unmistakable one. I watched his face. It was just for a split second, but I saw it. And this whole thing was a massive wake. First, change your router's default login. Almost every router comes with a default username and password, like admin and password, which hackers all know. Second, use a strong, unique password for your actual Wi-Fi, and make sure you're using WPA3 encryption if you can. Third, every so often, log into your router and look at the list of connected devices. And finally, keep your router's firmware updated. These updates contain critical patches for security holes. My little experiment started out as a tech review and turned into a real-life lesson in modern security. Thanks for coming on this wild ride with me. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you in the next one.